Hi guys, I have Hisham here. Hisham and I used to work with Infosys, and Hisham has had a very interesting set of careers. We're going to talk about that in a short while. But before that, the conversation really has to do with the fact that Hisham is now heading up Wikipedia in India. So without further ado, Hisham, why don't you talk about what you guys are doing in Wikipedia and how it's working out for you and what do you want the world to do for you?
Sure. First of all, just to correct a minor exaggeration, I don't head up Wikipedia in India. I'm a consultant for the Wikimedia Foundation, which is a small non-profit that supports Wikipedia.
The first among equals, you said.
We are a team of 5 people, and I suppose it's reasonable to say that I would be first amongst equals amongst the 5. But the larger story on Wikipedia is that there are two core elements to it. First of all, it's a free knowledge project. By far the largest free knowledge project in the world. It's ubiquitous in terms of when you want something, you go find it on Wikipedia. But the most essential part of it, which is often not known or realized by the average reader, is that all the content that you see on Wikipedia is written by volunteers. And so the Wikimedia Foundation is there to support the community of volunteers in various aspects, including, for example, expanding the community and getting new folks to come on board, helping them out on specific initiatives they may have, whether it's technical side of things or maybe some they want to do a community building initiative of some kind, etc. The work in India is particularly exciting because Wikipedia is a 10-year-old project, and we'll hopefully soon reach the 500 million reader mark. And we have about 90,000 or 100,000 editors. Anyone who writes on Wikipedia is an editor. Now, the profile of the editors on an average is about 23, 24, 85-ish% male, and predominantly from the US or North America, Europe, Japan. As a result of which, you have vast amounts of the world completely underrepresented. Sense of perspective, globally we have 90,000 editors. In India, we estimate we have about 2,000, 2,500 editors.
From 1/5 of the population, literally.
Indeed. And even if you were to say, okay, forget about 1/5 of the population, but look at just the internet population, etc., much is changing there. In terms of data access, 700 or 400 million mobile phones, depending on which statistic you want to look, mean that as mobile data access increases, our readership base is going to grow exponentially in India. Now, this presents 2 challenges and opportunities. At one level, it's the fact that you cannot have, as our ambition is the sum of all human knowledge, for the sum of all that human knowledge to come from a particularly constrained or a constricted set of editors in terms of demographics. You need to have them from the Indias and Brazils and Middle East of the world. And the second is, there's just so much to write about. I mean, in India, we are the country that gave the world Baba Ramdev, Bappi Lahiri, Biryani, Bindi, Bengan, and that's just B.
That's a set of B's.
And that's just a set of B's. I mean, wait till we get to anything else. So there's just so much to write about. That's one part of the challenge. The second part of the challenge is that if you are to be the sum of all human knowledge, you have to be the sum of all human knowledge in the language that you think and dream and count in. It's not necessarily in English. As the internet started in India, it's safe to assume that it was relatively more urban, relatively more affluent, relatively more comfortable in English. As it expands and as mobile data access increases, more and more people are going to come on board who are going to be a lot more comfortable in their mother tongues, and therefore getting the Indic language projects up and running is of paramount importance. 20 of them exist right now, fairly nascent, some of them doing amazing stuff, but it's safe to say that all of them see an imperative to grow exponentially in terms of getting their editor communities increased and getting their article counts. Just to give you a sense of perspective, Hindi spoken by 40 crore, 400 million people has a sum total of 50 editors globally. English is around 30,000-40,000, so we know where we have to go to. Malayalam has 100 editors. Similar number of people.
Hindi, let me get this right. Malus, who are about 35 million, 3.5 crore people,
yeah,
right, have got 50 editors, 100 editors,
100.
right? And Hindi, which has 40 crore, that's 400 million people,
Yeah.
has got 50 editors, half the number of editors.
True, and you could compare one with the other and say that Malayalam is doing significantly better than Hindi, but the hard reality is that both of them are relatively low. I mean, Malayalam, if you compare it with a similar base of language speak, Polish have a similar number of language speakers as Malayalam, has 1,500 editors. So any which way you look at it, there is an enormous opportunity to grow. Number of articles, for example, English has 4 million, English Wikipedia has 4 million articles. The average Indic language one has about 30,000-40,000. So that's the imperative. The imperative is to try and support the community as it grows. That's what we do.
Fantastic. And obviously, Wikipedia has been one of those wonderful altruistic successes on the web, hasn't it? It's something where people actually contribute without getting monetary returns back, at least in terms of what they're doing. It's all done freely, right? They do it on their own.
It's done entirely by volunteers, which is stunning because think about it, people are sitting at home, taking time out of their personal lives or slinking out of work sometimes and helping build an encyclopedia.
Fantastic.
For nothing, for no money.
So what's the motivation? When you talk to these, 40,000-50,000 people, why do they do it? What tends to be the reason why people?
At its core, it's the love of sharing knowledge. So that's one thing. There are also a few other things. In some cases, there is a particular passion about a subject area. I might be interested in astronomy, and I edit articles on astronomy. Or when you look at language communities, it is the passion for that language. I want to make sure that Korea or Assamese or Gujarati or Marathi or Tamil or Telugu, I want content. So you will find that on English Wikipedia, typically, generalizing a little bit, but typically editors tend to focus on certain passions that they have, certain subject themes. On Indic language, you find that editors still have that subject passion component in it, but they edit just about anything that comes their way in that language because the overpowering emotion for them is the love for the language.
Fantastic. The next question and the last one, Hisham, you've had a very interesting career. You've gone through Hindustan Unilever, Infosys, where I've met you, Hindustan, where I fought you.
Indeed. Yes, let's not forget that.
And we were sitting neighbors in Bombay, right?
Right.
Well, Uni and Infosys, and then after that you did some work with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation on HIV, from what I understand. The last one, you're right now in Wikimedia.
Yeah.
What gives? What drives you? What motivates you?
I think 2 or 3 things. One is every day that you go to work, there's got to be something that A, you can contribute, and 2, you can learn. And getting people to write an encyclopedia in their free time as volunteers, I cannot imagine a more complex challenge that could ever come my way.
Okay.
So that's exciting.
So the complexity of the challenge is really what you're saying is that.
Absolutely.
Okay. Excellent. So I'm sure we'll continue to hear more from you about these kinds of things, eh?
Absolutely. Should hope so.
Right. Congratulations and best of luck.
Thanks so much.
Cheers.